Welcome back to the Crazy Courage podcast. With me is another business owner. I have Dr. Neel Chadha. He is the owner of Lanark Lifestyles. Dr. Neel, why don't you explain to me what Lanark Lifestyles is?
Sure. It's aging in place retirement community. It was a company I created back in late 2017 and has two phases, 102 unit full service retirement residence, as well as a 115 unit luxury apartment building.
Now, do you split your time between being the owner and the resident physician? Is that your
I do.
role? Okay. That must keep you busy, clearly, I would think.
It does.
um, and then, so this is a retirement community. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna ask you. So this started in 2017. Clearly, you guys had to go through COVID. How crazy was that time?
It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, started the company, but I had to, build the building, and we officially opened for occupancy about 4 months before COVID started. So,
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I had to learn how to operate a retirement residence and get people in it during the same time that
Wow.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. So hectic might be, a word that maybe doesn't give it enough justice for what you were going through at that time. I mean, going through, you just built the building, you're just trying to get residents in. You've got all everything, the world changing because of COVID, and yourself, I'm sure, learning how to navigate what you have to do to maintain the operations and make sure that your residents are safe and your staff and everyone.
Yeah, no, hectic is an understatement. It was a thing where, a few of my managers and me included decided to just live at the retirement residence for a few days.
Really?
Sure, we had to figure out.
That makes sense. Now, can I assume that a lot of people that were in your employ may have experienced burnout during that time?
Yes, that is fair to say, for sure.
Did you make it through unscathed? Hopefully you had a good team.
Yeah, we were pretty fortunate that I had a great team. We didn't have any outbreaks until the vaccines. At that point, the strain was a lot more infectious or virulent, but
Right.
there was a point where we were doing such a good job that we had residents coming in from our competitor retirement home in us just because of how good we were at luckily keeping our residents safe.
Wow. So how well you're managing the situation. That's impressive, because I don't think, I don't think that was an easy situation for everyone. And certainly people who are on the front line, such as yourself and your staff. And just, I know myself dealing with retirement homes during that time, the rules were fairly strict, changing constantly. So it was very difficult to I would imagine, just stay on top of it. And on top, you're just saying you're trying to fill the place with residents at the same time. Wow, that's unbelievable. I have to say that you made it through unscathed. Hopefully things are a lot smoother now, and you can breathe a little easier. I imagine you're still busy, but less, hopefully less just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would like to sign myself up for pain, but
Yeah.
right after that, we decided to build the second phase, which was a 150 unit luxury apartment building. And so we had a lot of supply chain delays with construction,
Right.
schedule, and
Sure.
and the interest rates basically quadrupled as we were building it. So
Wow. So right.
Yeah. But it's built now, and we're just kind of in the middle to opening up. So
Now this is
get better.
the second location, right? Is that
It's the second phase of the same
second
location.
phase of the same one? Okay. Okay. Perfect.
But it's an
Wow.
apartment building. It's not a retirement home.
Okay, so can you explain to me? So apartment building is just for anyone of any age? Is that
Yeah, we have a bit more seniors, I guess, in it, but it is open to all ages.
okay?
And it's independent, you know, apartment units with kitchens, laundry, in the unit, and lots of different amenities.
Okay. So in the main part of it, I assume you're just um, admitting people, residents of a certain age. Is that fair? Do they have to be in a certain state of health?
It varies, there's no specific state of health that they
Okay.
can be independent up until, near the end of life. So it varies.
So do you have different areas or floors or residents in different parts of your main building where there's some care up to full care?
Yes, exactly. So our first floor and fourth floor are the independent floors of the retirement residence, and then our second floor is full care, and third floor has some care and some independence.
Nice, nice. Okay. All right. So Neil, let's time travel a little bit. We'll go back to your beginnings. And I guess how did you get into medicine? Like how early on did you know you wanted to get into medicine? Were you like 5, 6? Was it later on? Was it a
Yeah,
calling?
it's a bit of an interesting story. I mean,
Yep.
my background, my dad's a physician, my sister's a physician, so um, I was exposed to it at an early age.
Okay.
When I was little, I didn't necessarily want to do it, maybe out of spite, but
Rebelling, right? Sure.
yeah. And then in undergrad, I kept my options open, took some arts courses, took some science, took some health science courses. I did gravitate towards anatomies and physiologies and these types of courses, and
Okay.
realized at that time that I didn't want to do medicine, and family medicine in particular, just because it's so diverse.
Yeah, and is that so? Let's so family medicine specifically. What's the attraction? It's diverse. What else is there that drew you to that?
Yeah, but basically, the fact that I could do a few different things within the medical scope. So, for example, right now, I mean, I've done so many things. I've traveled up north. I've worked in emergency. I've worked in long-term care. I've worked in retirement homes. I've worked in hospitals. I've worked on mental health floors. I've worked, on geriatric floors. So, family medicine's probably the only. I worked in COVID clinics. Family medicine's probably the only specialty that would allow me to have that breadth of diverse medical experience.
Okay, interesting. And then at some point, you decided to focus more on seniors.
Exactly. Yeah. Throughout my sort of residency, and then as I once you do all those things in town medicine at the beginning, you can decide what you're really passionate about. And for me, geriatrics, so care of the elderly, is literally capturing my passion, my attention.
Wow, interesting. And going through medical school, how did that go? Was it grueling? Did you find it challenging, but you enjoyed it? What was your experience?
Yeah, sorry, I went to Calgary for medical school. And it's a 3-year program, so it's quite grueling because you don't actually get summers, you just go all the way through.
Wow.
But I made a couple of really good friends in medical school early on. We really helped each other out and formed really unique bonds, which I think made it, manageable and fun.
Cool, great. They're all helping each other survive, I guess. Is that
Yeah, pretty much it.
and I bet, look, medical school, I don't think is something I could have survived myself with friends or without. That's just beyond my capabilities. And I'm always impressed when people can do it. And certainly when they choose that field, they know that it's going to be tough and they know that, there's just so much schooling ahead of you. But I mean, like you said, it was in your family, maybe it's in your blood. I guess that may have been what drew you to it, which is great because certainly I'm happy to have guys like you that are willing to do it because we need strong, smart physicians in our system for sure. And I will say that I definitely appreciate everyone who was on the front lines during the COVID times, because you guys really you were on the front lines, but it's not, you're on the front lines, but you're also dealing with people who are sick, trying to keep yourselves from becoming sick, so that the system can keep going. Anyway, just I know it's a few years too late, but I really appreciate it. Anyway, I appreciate it. I didn't have to go to a hospital during that time, and I certainly avoided it as much as I could, because I certainly didn't want to be more of a strain myself during that time. I always respect physicians and family physicians. It's not me. I can't do it. I love that you wanted to do it and that you gravitate towards it. And certainly working with seniors, we have an aging population, so there's definitely a need. So for you to want to do that and it fits a need is really works out well for our society in general. All right. So you've got Lanark Lifestyles. Now, do you enjoy being an owner? Or like which part do you prefer, the owner, the physician part?
Yeah, to be honest, initially I exactly what I was signing myself up for.
Nice. Typical business owner, right?
Yeah. And I have to be pretty clear about what hat I've got on. There can be perceived conflict of interest as well. So all my patients know that, I have a interest, an ownership interest in the business and the science aware. But yeah, so your question was, what do I like more? I think they both have their pros and cons, really. So on some days I love I think the physician part I really enjoy. Like, I think I've always enjoyed that, especially like I said, the elderly, but the owner, like the life, the business part of it. But yeah, combined, it's found its unique challenges out today.
Is it a matter of, as the physician, you can take care of their health, but as the owner, you can satisfy other needs in terms of, we'll say, comfort and
that's why I got into it. Basically, when I was working as a physician at 10 different retirement homes, I saw things that I thought could be improved upon, and I saw someone out who had, done this before in terms of real estate development in this huge space.
Okay.
So I designed it the way I think makes the most sense from a medical and holistic perspective. So that part was great, and I love that. I love that. And I have, control of the decisions that are being made to help our residents. And so that stuff's great. I think the reason I'm like, it's a bit hard is just because of the since COVID, like, we've had so many shortages of healthcare staff.
Yes.
And I think that really worries on me, because we try so hard to recruit, and we are recruiting. We're fine now, but it's been such a challenge to maintain, so much so that we're actually now exploring getting staff from foreign countries to come in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So finding staff has been an ongoing challenge, clearly.
Yeah.
Wow. And how hard is it to get staff from foreign countries, and not necessarily bringing people in, but making it so they're able to work?
Yeah, so we just started to explore this, about 6 months ago, and we're in the middle of it now. So we're dealing with a firm that's done this, and actually a long-term care home in Perth has done it as well. So we've got some ideas from them. They seem to be doing quite well with it. So I don't think it's possible that we'll just have to know over 8 people.
But for retirement facilities such as yourself, how much marketing and sales do you have to put out there to attract residents, or is it really just, look, we have a waiting list and it'll fill up?
No,
you build it, it will come. Is it that simple?
In the Ottawa market, And all the land surrounding areas, there's been an incredible, amount of supply that's come online in the last,
Okay.
call it 3 years
Yep. Yep.
for seniors. So, yeah, when we first opened, it was relatively easy to keep, and obviously merit period. We still do, but,
Yeah.
newer product generally is the shiniest,
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
product that would have it is easier to attract residents. But
Sure.
so yeah, no, we got to do marketing for it, especially with the second phase coming online.
Okay.
We have to do marketing for sure.
Okay. And do you feel with the second phase coming online, do you already have demand built in? You must have a good referral network, I would think, for
Yeah,
existing.
so
Yeah.
we're about, I would say, halfway full
Okay.
on that second building.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're happy where we are right now.
Nice. Nice. So, has there been any lessons you've learned along the way that if you had to do it differently, you'd totally avoid certain things?
Oh, geez, that's a great
So
question.
many.
Love my Lord. I generally don't have regrets.
Okay.
I think for me, I learn best by doing.
Yeah.
Certainly now, as I stand and do more projects, and I am learning sort of things about designing out buildings, unit counts, the ratios of the units,
Right.
all these sorts of things. But those are big, those are to me like from the big picture. I don't have any big lessons that I would have done differently.
Okay. Okay. Those are just things that you kind of learn as you go, and it's going to be that way no matter what. So it's not, but it wasn't really something that held you back or caused really headaches.
No, I mean, initially, a first project construction manager wasn't great, so I really had to get in there and learn how to construction manage a project. But
Wow. How was that? I mean, going from physician to building a facility, it's
yeah,
that
it was
gotta be night and day.
challenging for sure. But I think I'm so much better off because of that.
Okay.
I went to my own school, right? And then with phase two, the supply chain and interest rates going up as quickly as they did, that was another school, right? So
Right.
I looked at every, obviously, there's a point where I may not look at things that I would like it if I'm really negative and I, lose my shirt or something. But at
Sure.
this point,
Sure.
everything that happens, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm just trying to take as much learning from these opportunities as possible.
Okay. So learning and staying positive have been important, clearly.
Yes.
That's good. It's good. I've talked to a few people lately, and really it was for them, it was a matter of knowing that they could do it was kind of a big thing. Not knowing how to do it, but knowing that when presented with a challenge, that they could overcome it.
Definitely. And, that there have been times where one thing after the other just keeps going wrong. And, I've wanted to give up, like, I'll be dead honest with
Really?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should just stuck with being a physician and not
And let someone else worry about the
business.
right.
I can talk myself out of that, and I have a peer group, a family, wife, and so the key, I think, is to not give up. I think you'll have regrets if you give up in general. So
no matter how positive you are, it's gonna get tough. You will have doubts, but you got to push through.
absolutely.
Awesome. See, it seems to have served you well so far. And now you're talking about further expansion, right? So you're talking about expansion to the current facility, but beyond that, you're talking about expanding and having other facilities come online.
Yeah, what we've accomplished in Perth, I think, is, I'm biased, but I think it's incredible. And the one last piece is medical center, same with your, I ended up selling that piece of land to a medical friend, and he ended up building it. But so this community or complex that was created, I think, is the way of the future, especially with the aging population. You
Right.
know, where you can move in relatively young and just stay in there and get the healthcare that you need for the rest of your life. So, yeah, and I have sites in Carlton Place and Chatfield, looking at other sites as well, but really trying to replicate the model that we've created.
That's an interesting model. So let's go back to that really quickly. So you're talking about people move in. It could be at any age, like you said, for that new expansion that you're talking about. But they could just move to a different part of the facility as um, they
As
progress
their
through
care,
life and
yeah,
age. Yeah.
exactly, as their care needs increase. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Wow, that's really interesting, and it's great. Now you said there's going to be a medical facility. Is that going to be right beside your complex, or is that
Yeah,
already
it's already been built. I think it's been built for at least a year now. So
okay?
all three buildings were kind of built around the same time. So yeah, it's really
Wow. So like you said, it's going to be its own sort of community. Um, and you could need whatever, and that medical center, I assume, is if you need some sort of care outside of your facility. Is that
Yeah, there's a pharmacy there, there's a
okay?
physio clinic, there's an actual medical clinic, there's some home care services. So it's pretty thorough in terms of what type of services you might need, and we have partnerships with those companies as well.
Or what are any interesting anecdotes or fun stories that have come up in during your process, your journey?
Well, I can tell a story about one of my residents.
Nice.
Yeah, he used to run a golf course quite a few years ago, and uh, we always said we were going to get a putting green, but with any added amenity, that required us to stop going. So right now, the complex is a lot of amenities, but we had to wait for the second phase. But anyway, so he was he took matters into his own hands, and we had a patch of grass, and he basically turned it into a pine green. Like
Nice.
just like looking after it, cutting the real short, and these types of things. And so that was the birth of our putting green, and then since then we've been able to just put astroturf, so it's our official
Right.
grass. But no, it's just kind of cool. Like the residents, like they really it's their home, and they treat it that way, and so they're really on your side to try and make things as nice as possible, for people to live. And so we always do share all these sad cherries, or even we have on tournaments, and we have the staff that the
That's
kids
awesome.
that is really excited, and I go and so many different teams, so we have a lot of fun with it.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun. It sounds great. And clearly you appreciate the feedback from the residents, and like you said, you want them to feel at home. So that's a really good way to do it. Now, um was it important for you, or was it strategic to be located just outside of Ottawa, like in Perth?
Yeah, I went to some of the smaller communities. I did some medical training in Perth, and I know it's a great town. The senior population is higher than in an average Ontario city.
Okay.
And the land there, for me to do my first project, I need the land to be relatively inexpensive
Sure.
compared to Ottawa. So that's what was one of the reasons as well.
Okay. Was it tricky to get financing for this project?
Yeah, so I had a business partner who, like I say, had done it before, and he was pretty key to helping get financing. I would have been able to do without him.
And the we did talk about supply chain issues. Did you have anything that really slowed you down, or was it just a general slowdown?
Yeah, I remember I was at a town hall in phase one with the residents. We do those every month, and when I could not like the construction management company, the finance coordinator there gave me a call. And, he told me as I'm like out there about to give my little presentation to the guys. He's like, yeah, so you know how this deal was delayed? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I thought it was like gonna be, a week or two. It's actually gonna be 5 months.
Oh, ouch,
So,
ouch.
this deal was supposed to like be installed in the next, couple of weeks, if you will. So
Right.
the 5 months of just nothing. And people were like, "What's the problem? These developers, like, did they go under? What's going
Yeah.
on? Why wasn't there any progress on the site?" So, yeah, that was a big one.
Wow. Yeah. So to go for 5 months of standstill, that's really got to be a tough one to just wait it out. Like just the waiting must just be the most painful thing.
Yeah, we were lucky in a way that we were early in terms of the stage of the construction. If you enter a 5 month delay, I'm charged for a 5 month delay towards the end, then your interest payments really start hurting
Okay.
because the interest that you borrow is directly correlated with the amount of loan that you've taken out from the bank. So at the beginning, it's all of your capital and your partner's capital, so you don't actually have to pay interest on that. But for example, if we had a 5 month delay a month before opening, we'd be in big trouble.
Wow. Wow. No kidding. Right. Right. Okay. And certainly, by that point, a lot of systems and residents would be waiting to move in, and that's a lot of people you have to explain
Absolutely.
the same thing over and over to, and those are fun conversations, right? So
And then you can always lose trust with yourself.
yeah, for
There's
sure.
always, for me, a silver lining with every sort of hiccup.
And was there, do you know what the delay was for the steel? Was it just the manufacturer was having a hard time?
At the time, I think a lot of the steel comes from China.
Yeah.
And, with the globalization at the time, right around, like I say, COVID, like even the year after, that, there was lots of lockdowns in China and these types of things. So there's a global shortage of steel.
Yeah.
Playing less.
Wow. Wow. And I guess it just, people didn't realize, like you said, you expected the delay to be a week or two, and then people just didn't realize to what extent these supply chain issues were going to be, like what, the length of time that would be involved. And we've seen it clearly, not just steel, we've seen it in every industry. I mean, automotive industry was a good example that hit a lot of consumers where it was very difficult to find a car for the longest time, and you couldn't build them fast enough, and you couldn't get chips for them fast enough. So, the dealerships were way delayed, nothing on their lots. They were selling cars before they even got there. So that's just one example I'm using, but clearly there's a shortage everywhere of various things, and it's the worst thing because it's always like one key component where you can't move forward without it. So you're just stuck. You're sitting idle for 5 months, for instance, like in a construction project.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun. All right. So now you have the other facilities that you're talking about getting online. Are they? Did you have projected timelines for those?
Yeah, so the one in Tacville, I'm hoping to break around next year sometime.
Nice.
It's very well with a 60 apartment building,
Okay.
and then default in place sometime in 2026.
Okay. Okay. One thing at a time, I guess.
Yeah,
Are you going to be the project manager for those projects as well, or are you going to have to hand that off?
I'll hire a company, but I generally just oversee everything. Uh, but yeah, delegating to a company with that makes more sense.
Right. Right. Sort of a trust but verify sort of situation, which is, I mean, you're already a pretty busy guy, so to throw two other projects on there, it's got to be, that would be a bit much for you to handle on your own, I would expect.
Yeah.
Um, Now, these projects in Kempville and Carlin Place, are they going to be a similar sort of standalone community, same as the one in Perth?
Yes, it'll be very similar.
Same sort of plan? Okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's fantastic. And you'll be the owner? They're not, pardon my ignorance, it's not going to be it's not going to be a franchise sort of
No,
setup? No. Okay. I don't even know if that's a thing in for retirement communities or care homes.
yeah, no, it's not typical.
Okay. All right. Perfect. But yeah, is there anything you want to say in terms of just selling your thing or your the Lanark Lifestyles itself? Tell me how awesome it is. I mean, we got a putting green. That's got to be it's going to be a nice attraction. You said I love the golf, the putting tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's we've got a 7-year clubhouse with a swimming pool, yoga studio,
Nice.
gym, a sauna. There's lots of green space. Got pickleball court.
That's big now. Pickleball is everywhere. I'm seeing it all over the place. It's really taken off.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, like they say, you have to see it for yourself, so people should come toward it. But we didn't spare any space.
Wow, nice. Now these facilities that you just mentioned, are those available to the younger residents as well, or is it just for seniors?
Well, everybody has access.
Everybody has access. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So Neel, I'm gonna thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming on here today and telling me your story. It's great. A lot of great lessons in there. A lot of fantastic information, and I love the self-contained community. That sounds like a really good model. So I'm gonna wish you all the success in the world, and I hope things go really well on your next projects.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks for having me on the pod here, and keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.